Good afternoon, everybody. Coming to you this afternoon here from the Gammain Sports Ground, the Den, the home of the Lions. The big clash today between the Cats in the Riverina Football League competition, the Wagga Tigers and the Gammain Grong Madong Lions. Once again, Baz is bringing it all to you here today. Tammy, his assistant, and Andrew, once again, our game caller. Best amateur caller in the Riverina, I'd say about Andrew. It's an absolute cracking day for the first day of winter, the 1st of June. We've had that rain 10 days ago. We've lost the dust and the smoke. That's all behind us, and those crops are coming up that were dry sown. Andrew, where else would you want to be on this picturesque first day of winter?
Yes, and the ground looks immaculate. Must give credit to Jason Hamlin. Looks after the ground. It's plenty of great comments about the condition of the ground today.
And it's one of those days again where it's all in football, Andrew. The juniors are into it out the back on the junior ground, and the new facilities, the junior facilities, have been able to use today for the first time, I believe.
Yes, it's open there, the facilities for the netball and the junior teams to utilise. And
today here at the ground, we've welcomed Riverina Bluebell have been here today. We've done an interview, so that'll pop up on the club's Facebook page. Baz will do some touching up of that interview that I did on the boundary line with Will Phillips from Riverina Bluebell. Of course, that's all about the mental health. So at today's match, it's a local mental health well-being match today. So there's going to be you're going to hear a lot. Will's going to come up at half-time and even do a little bit more commentary. But that mental health, Andrew, we talk about it not only when there's special days, it's got to be a full-time topic to talk about. The workplace, the footy field, the netball court, the schoolroom, the kitchen table, the coffee shop. We just can't let it go. We wait now for the sides to come. Umpires waiting for a bit of just to get a bit of time off the clock for the scheduled time. Andrew, the changes for the Lions today?
Yeah, Nate Hamlin comes into the side today after being involved with academy duties with the Giants, and also Boston McCree is the one out. Along also coming in, just memory loss there, the one coming, but Ashton Lance is another out of the side today. So, but you've got Gammain sitting in 3rd position on the ladder, coming up against Wagga Tigers, who are sitting in 6th position, trying to hold on to the leading 5 teams there, and probably Mangapla holds a 2-game advantage over Wagga Tigers in that 5th spot, so they'll be looking to come away with a win today, and Gammain, having played 3 victories in a row, will be looking to progress on and keep in touch with that double chance. Sitting on top of the ladder, undefeated, is Colin Gully. Coolaman had another good win yesterday. The Lions, Turvey Park and Mangapla, the top 5. So the Tigers have been pretty serviceable in most of their games. A danger man for the Lions will be Murray Stevenson up at full forward that they'll have to try and contain. He's been kicking a number of goals. He'd be the leading goal kicker in the competition. They've got an abundance of youth in their side, and the Lions will be looking to progress today with another victory, and looking to continue on after their good victory last week against Turvey Park.
Andrew, that other player you were searching for might be Joe Foley, I think.
That's correct, yeah. Joe Foley missed last game with a abductor injury, so he's back into the side, which will be a big plus for the Lions, although he's got the big role, by the look of it, on Murray Stevenson to start with. So good learning curve there for Joe today against a premier player.
Seemed to take the Lions a little bit of time to settle back into the rhythm after the bye the week before the Turvey game, Andrew, but they put it in the 3rd quarter. They came good.
So the Tigers will kick to the road end, and Gammain to the dam, and Cook wins that first tap down to Flood. Kick forward by Ryan. Coming out to meet it is Jack Sussay. He gathers the ball, gets a hand pass out wide to Burhop. Kicks around the corner and finds Matt Hamlin. Kicks one off the side of his right boot. Finds Dan Foley. A grubbing kick there by Nate Hamlin. Ball's on the ground there. Picked up by Tigers. Another grubbing kick by Tigers. And a good tackle there on Ryan from the Lions, and the ball's rolled out of bounds on that far wing.
We'll get a throw in out there on the eastern wing, and just there sponsorship there from the Coolum Steelworks. They make those chaser bins. Long way till harvest, Andrew, but let's hope we need them again.
Yes, be keen to get a big harvest again. A lot of other areas are desperately in need of rain, as the tap down there by Foley and a good tackle by Jack Powell.
No excuses for ball handling here today, Andrew. Hardly even a hint of a breeze.
Bit of a frost and a good dew this morning, with the ground's dried out beautifully now as Jack Powell hands balls in towards Nate Hamlin, makes a good tackle, and it's another ball up on that far wing.
Bit scrambly early, but that's always the case as the players find themselves.
Dan Foley taps that down, gathered by Tigers there. This is kicked high into centre half forward there. Jumping early is Seb Hamlin, can't quite hold it. Gathered by Jack Sussay, onto Jack McKegg, through the centre of the ground. Sends this one long, looking for Ganmain there, but it's marked by Tigers.
Jack McKegg's got himself a criminal haircut. I don't mean anything disparaging, but I can pick him up pretty good with that.
So Wadley's taken that mark deep in offence. It's gone to the wing there to Myers. He looks to kick this long and low, but it's cut off by Zach Burhop across half-back. Goes inside, finds Dan Foley. Matt Hamlin looking to play on quickly. Goes wide, looking for Benulis. Ball's out in front of him. Tries to keep it inside. It's just gone over the line. Another big inclusion for the Tigers today is Lockie Myers, older brother of Josh Myers and Brendan Myers, who's been playing down in Melbourne in the VFA with Glen Airy, I think the name of the club is. So that's an inclusion for the Tigers today. I think he won a best and fairest there in 2022.
And he'd be a relation to yours, Andrew,
yes,
too?
Yes, yeah. Grandson of Paddy Myers and
lovely woman.
Gordon. Yeah.
Lovely woman. Gordon passed away early this year.
Yes, yep. Dan Foley wins another tap down on the path of Matt Hamlin. Grabbed by Flood. Gets it on to Ryan. Kicks this one forward low. Coming out to meet it is Davis. He can't pick it up. Tom Quinn gathers the ball to Sam Martin. To Seb Hamlin, dodges around one. Good hands by the Lions here to Nate Hamlin, on to his cousin in Matt. And sends this long, looking for Shannon Butterfield. It goes through his hands, grabbed by Benulis. He breaks one tackle, gets his hand pass away, but it's gathered by Pavitt there. Looks to come in and finds a good kick to Etchells there. His hand passes on to Ryan. Kicks this low, but it's cut off by Burhop. He can switch, he can go wide. He's got Jack Powell on his own on that half-back flank. Kicks one over the top, looking for Tom Anderson. Through his hands, he busts the tackle of the Tigers' opponent. Goes wide, looking for Sid White, and he stretches out and takes a mark in front of the scoreboard. He's got Benulis on a lead. It's punched clear by Tigers. Good pressure, gathered by Tom Anderson. His kick smothered by Wadley. Ball's on the ground there. Gathered by Mullen. His kicks along the ground. Comes to Ryan. Looks to go back to whence he came, and then it's down the throat of Seb Hamlin. Tigers forward line will be disappointed there. That's been cut off on 2 or 3 occasions by the Lions as Jack Powell kicks this forward, looking for Benulis. The ball falls just in front of him. He regathers. His kick smothered. Comedy of errors so far in this game, and the ball goes wide to the Tigers. They look to go inside there, find Etchells. He must be a late inclusion. He's not on the team sheet here, and he kicks this one forward, looking but Stevenson on the lead. Spoiled there by Josh Walsh. He regathers. Hooks around on his right. It's a 2-1 contest here in the goal square, and it's punched through by the Lions. First score of the game.
One behind to the Tigers at the southern end of the ground.
Burhop plays on quickly to Matt Hamlin. He marks it half back. Just holds it up. Goes back into the centre of the ground, finds Jack Powell. He kicks it out wide, looking for Josh Walsh, but his kick's cut off by Ryan. He's got Stevenson on his own. 80 metres from goal, he takes the mark. He's going to play on, runs around, sets this one long, looking for Etchells. Under it is Sam Hamlin. Goes through the hands of Etchells. He regathers, and it's the first goal of the Tigers.
Yeah, good use of the body there, Andrew. Just didn't, not a push in the back, just body work, and then he peeled himself backwards to grab the ball and kick a goal for the Tigers at the southern end of the ground at the 5.5 minute mark of the first quarter. The Tigers here are 1-1-7. The Lions yet to open their scoring account. Terrific pressure there from the Tigers backline, Andrew. There were about 4 smothers in a row I counted there before they took it down to their 50.
Yeah, plenty of 1%ers.
They're very important, those little ones.
Back to the centre of the ground, Dan Foley and Cook in the ruck. Cook wins that tap. Down to Flood, back to Cook. He's wrapped up in a one-arm tackle there by Foley, and the umpires said he's caught with the ball. Free kick, Dan Foley, the centre of the ground.
Dan Foley, best on ground at Turvey Park for mine.
Sends this long, looking for Sid White, and it's a good tackle there on Ganmain, a teammate there, and a little bit of push and shove. Tackle on Nate Hamlin there, but the umpire's going to ball it up. Bernulis and Cook in the ruck. Cook taps it to himself. Tom Anderson takes the ball out of the ruck. On to Jesse Lander, kicks this high, looking for Sid White. He's been pushed out of the way there by his Tigers opponent. And they look to come in short for a little one, and it's marked by Cook. It was a dangerous kick. Whitefield took that mark, but it's pressure turnover here from the Lions, and it's on to Matt Hamlin from Jack McKegan. It's the Lions' first goal.
The Lions have opened their scoring account at the northern end of the ground with sharp play there by the Lions. A slick handball from Jack McKeag. Who was the goal kicker, Andrew?
Matt Hamlin.
Matt Hamlin.
Yeah. Popped up with 3 or 4 last week against Turvey Park. He's been in very good form the last month.
Kicked
a heap of possessions.
Kicked a sharp goal last week in the third quarter, if I remember rightly.
Yes, yep.
Really got the Lions going.
It's great to see your midfielders kicking goals. And as I say, first one to Matt Hamlin. Back to the centre. Foley and Cook in the ruck. Cook taps that one down. He's a big imposing figure, Cook. Down to the path of Flood, but he's wrapped up in a tackle. It's another ball up. Both players lock hands, but Cook's strength there gets the ball down. But picked up by Lander. Hand pass doesn't reach its target in Matters, but he regathers. Kicks wide and finds Matt Hamlin on the wing. He can play on here, takes one bounce.
Oh, he's got a paddock.
Sends this one long, looking for Sid White. But the ball's gone over the back there, almost gathered by Jake Taylor. Coming through is Pavitt, but he's tackled strongly there by Jack McKeag, and it'll be a throw-in.
Throw in front of the Ganmain Sports Club. Good sponsors. Great to see the players, the netballers up there on Friday night. Good crowd. Keep together.
Cook taps that one down, but players diving on the ball. It's shovelled out to Cook. He kicks this clearing long ball, and it's a good mark over his head there to Josh Walsh. Plays on quickly. He's a daisy cutter. It doesn't quite reach Butterfield, but it's on the ground there. Clearance there by Tigers. A one-on-one here, Stevenson and Joe Foley. Joe Foley does best, punches it clear, gathered by Tom Quinn, kicks wide and finds Josh Walsh. Quickly plays on to Joe Foley. Probably one thing he's got to do today is attack and then finish off with a good kick, but he's turned it over to Pavitt there on the wing. Makes Stevenson chase him. As Tigers gather the ball in the wing, they kick around the corner and the ball's going to race towards the boundary line there. Dan Foley taps it on to Josh Walsh, but it's over the sidelines. It'll be a throw-in.
The throw-in there will be in front of the Brill Ag. Got Rowan Brill out there on the Dulla Road. Lots of farmers in the local area using Rowan. Good to see. And he's got 3 little footballers that are coming on.
Foley grabs us out of the ruck. Hand pass to Matt Hamlin. Takes another bounce. Sends this long, looking for Jack Powell. Over the back there is Pavitt. He can't gather it. Powell dives on the ball. Josh Myers for Tigers tries to get it out. He shovels it out to Pavitt. He slips over. Can't get it free, and the umpire's going to call for a ball up. The Lions lock it in. Tapped down by Cook, then on to Best. Kicks this forward, but almost marked there by Tom Quinn. Spills, gathered by Tigers, but it's a tackle high there on Ryan by Sam Martin. He looks to come inside, but it's another ill kick there from the Tigers. Both sides turning it over as Matt Hamlin takes the marks. Sanders it in long. Powell jumps high. Gone through his hands. Gathered by Shepherd there. Gets it on to Gorman. Comes wide to Castles. He plays on. Sends this high, but it's two Lions blokes sitting under this. And Dan Foley takes the mark. He can switch. He's got Jackson Conley on that far wing. He's going to have to take a couple of bounces to get to him. Kicks it wide, puts it out in front of him. Ball's going to roll over the sideline.
We'll have a throw in out there in front of the JLEC, Jason Lindsell with his team. Doing a lot of work around the Riverina and locally.
Cook and Foley in the ruck. Dan Foley grabs it out of the ruck again, gets a hand pass forward into the path of Shannon Butterfield, who he gathers. Hand pass on to Tom Anderson. He chips this one low and finds Bernoullis 60 metres from goal. Runs around, plays on, chips a little one short to Jake Taylor. He's 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle. He'll go back and have a shot.
Yeah, well, Jake's a pretty good goal kicker for the Lions, Andrew, we've seen.
I think he got a few last game against Turvey too, Guy.
I think
he's
you're
been
right.
Kicking a few goals up there as a small forward. Sends this one on its way, but it's gone through from behind. Ball comes in through field. Looks for Mullen. Goes through his hands. Gathered by Tigers there. Stolen by Tom Anderson. Ball fumbles free. Comes back into the centre of the ground there. No one can pick it up. Tigers look to clear it here with quick hands. On to Ryan. Breaks around one tackle. Then another. Goes wide, but it's punched clear by Seb Hamlin towards the boundary line. A race between him and Davis, and it's over the sidelines.
Repeat throw in out there. Brillag.
Jack Sussay comes from the field. Nate Hamlin to come back on. He's been playing in defence in those academy games. Dan Foley front position. He's held. He gets a free kick. Comes inside looking for Lucas Hattie, but it's gone over his head. Both sides off the radar at the moment in these perfect conditions as Gorman hand passes over the top. The ball hits the ground there. Gathered by Etchells. Tackle by Foley there. Dan onto Sam Martin from Matt Hamlin. On to Butters, kicks one low, but it finds its target in Jackson Conley. Swings around, finds Tom Anderson in front of the scoreboard. Running on is Tom Quinn here. But Anderson's going to send this one long to the goal square. Up early is Powell. It's gone over the back there. Gathered by Wadley. He goes for a clearing kick, but he's kicked it out on the full. No one from the Lions wants this. I think it's out of bounds.
I think the goal umpire. I think the boundary umpire called it out of bounds before the kick. Was it?
Yeah.
Yep. So it'll be a throw in deep in the pocket at the northern goal, western side of the ground.
Sid White and Cook in the ruck. Ball's gathered by Tigers there. Wrapped up tackle. Power attempts to grab it. Tries to break three. Gets a hand pass away. Gathered by Connolly. Gathered by the Lions there, but it's attempted to clear here by the Tigers. Hand pass over the top by McCulloch. Kicked forward by Matt Hamlin, but that's a mark in the goal square there by Field for the Tigers. He looks to come to the clubhouse side. Kicks this high. Sitting under this is Walsh. Goes through his hands. Nate Hamlin gathers. Tries to hand pass back to Josh Walsh. He can't get it clear, and it's pushed over the sideline.
Have a throw in there in front of the Beaumont Tiles. We thank those sponsors.
Just a scrappy affair so far, the game.
Yeah, just the sides just both taking a bit of time to settle, Andrew.
Ball's thrown in, gathered by Dan Foley. On to Tom Anderson, on to Matt Hamlin. Kicks this one low. Leading out to this is Bernoullis. And it's just gone over the top of the Tigers' opponent and into the arms of Tom Bernulis.
As we're accustomed to, Andrew, the Matt Hamlin is working the statistician's pen with his touches.
Yes, the pen will be red hot at the moment. He's
all around
tallying them up.
We wait for Tom Bernulis to convert this goal well within his range as he comes in, and that familiar right foot. Let's ride it home. Watch the goal umpire. The goal umpire doesn't move, so that tells you. Goal at the northern end. First goal to Tom Bernulis. The Lions are 2-1-13. The Tigers are 1-1-7 here at nearly the 16-minute mark of the first quarter. Probably about one of the best passages of play for the Lions across the ground, with a good lead there from Tom Bernulis, Andrew.
Yeah, it was, Guy. Yeah, no, it's both sides sort of just finding their way at the moment. Hopefully the skills will improve as the game goes on, but it starts to open up a bit more, but it's pretty contested. Plenty of pressure out there as Bernulis has come into the ruck, but Cook's tapped that down into the path of Flood there, and he's wrapped up in a tackle by Jesse Lander. Jack Flood coming across from North Wagga to Wagga Tigers this year. As Bernulis taps that down to Lander, but it's come out to Gorman. He's kicked forward into the path of Josh Walsh. Coming out to meet it there is Myers. Hand passes back to Davis. Tigers going backwards here to Flood. He slips over. He's wrapped up in a tackle. That's got to be caught. Jack Powell to be the recipient of the free kick.
Yes, no excuse if you slip over. That doesn't buy it.
He's called to play on. He's got Josh Walsh wide. Finds him. He can come wider again to Brad Matters in front of the change rooms. Go across field back to Powell. Lions trying to open up over the top then. A hand pass to Tom Quinn. He can send this long into the forward line. Sitting under this is Field though. And he takes a jungling mark. Goes wide. Finds Davis. On to Wadley. He's on the boundary there. Hand passes to Etchell, but he's tackled immediately by Seb Hamlin, and it's over the boundary line.
So the throw-in will be affected there, right in front of where the kiosk is, and we thank all those volunteers that work in the kiosk on these home game days. Great revenue raiser for the club.
Cook with front position, but Bernulis over the top. No one wins it decisively from Matters on to Tom Anderson. Goes inside the middle of the ground, finds Sam Martin. He plays on quickly. Can send this long and low into the forward line. It's going over the back, and Matt Hamlin gathers the ball, dodges around one, gets his hand pass away on to Lucas Hattie, and he snaps around the corner for the Lions' third.
Good effort for Matt Hamlin. It looked like the Tigers thought they had him cornered, but he was able to get the handball away. Lucas Hattie just in the right position at the right time. The Lions 3-1-19, the Tigers 1-1-7. 18 minutes gone now on this fantastic day for football here in the heart of the Riverina, the Den, the Gammain Sports Ground.
As Dan Foley comes to the bench, Sid White to come on. Back to the centre of the ground, Bernulis and Cook in the ruck. Cook gets high, taps that one down into the path of Mullen, but it's gathered by Ryan. He's getting a few possessions in this first quarter for Tigers. Ball bounces high into the path of Stevenson. He can't take it, and he wraps up Joe Foley in a tackle, and the umpire will call for a ball up. Bernulis and Stevenson. Bernulis grabs that out of the ruck and sends a barrel out of defence. Knocked over the top by Jack McKegg. He regathers. Kicks one long and low, but once again finds a Wagga Tigers opponent. Cross half back to Wadley. They look to switch here. Comes back to Field. He's held up in front of the scoreboard. Goes short again to Cook. He can't hold the mark. It spills it. He's tackled well by Sid White. And it'll be a free kick to Sid White. All that work in the gym starting to pay off, young fella.
It's hard to break away from the clutches of Sid White.
He kicks one long and low and finds Matt Hamlin at centre half forward. He plays on quickly. He's got Jackson Connolly on the pocket, all on his lonesome, and he'll go back and have a shot.
Yeah, good vision there from Matt Hamlin. Good positioning from Jackson. Bit of a sharp shooter. He's prolific on the run. He'll have to kick from round about 40, 35 to 40. Right foot, drop punt. One behind.
One behind.
When am I going to learn not to spruik him, Andrew?
Yeah, you jinxed him.
Never mind. He'll get another go. The Lions 3-2-20. Tigers 1-1-7. 21 minutes gone now.
Pavitt brings it out to Mullen. On to Flood there in front of the scoreboard for the Tigers. Just held up here. He's got to go long and down the line looking for Etchells. Him and Seb Hamlin tussle for it. It's regathered by Seb Hamlin and the umpires
paid the mark. Yep.
Paid the mark. Yes, he's coming inside, finds Bernulis on that wing. He can switch across the ground. He's got Joe Foley. He can hand pass one over the top to Zach Burhop, and he can run. Kicks this one long, low, looking for Sid White on a lead, and it's sticky fingers. It's a good mark to Sid White. 45 metres out on a strong lead.
A good lead, a good mark, a good kick. Skills on display there. The Lions had time, Andrew. They brought it out here. They weren't under pressure, really.
No, they're very good at switching the ball and finding a better option. Sid White runs to the right and kicks to the left and through from behind.
The Lions 3-3-21. The Tigers 1-1-7. 22 minutes gone now. The dying stages of the first quarter.
Field to bring this in, the boy from Junee, played with Mara last year. Kicks inside to Pavitt, he dodges around one, finds Lyons, who marks at half-back for the Tigers. He can go wider again, but it's through the hands of Sid White. Gathered by Wadley. Back to Lyons, back to Wadley, goes long along the line. It's a good strong mark there by McPherson. New recruit for the Tigers, but he's kicked, hits the ground. Kirkop's gathered, but he's kicked it out on the full.
Free kick will be taken right down below us here by Seb Hamlin in front of the commentary box.
Comes inside to Dan Foley, on to Jack Powell. Kicks one low, leaping high was Wadley there. Play on, says the umpire. Matt Hamlin's got it. Gets a hand pass on to Sid White, and he can have a shot on goal, and it's another one to the Lions.
Another good passage of play that started here, right below us here at the commentary box. Lions took it.
It's all Lions in this second half of the first quarter.
Yeah, they're starting to ramp up a bit now, Andrew. We've got past that little bit of scrambly play at the start. Lions are starting to open up, find their voice, find their run.
As Dan Foley comes back into the ruck after having that spell on the bench. Cook continues to ruck tirelessly for the Tigers. Thrown high, Cook over the top with that superior reach. Falling over there is Wadley. Hand pass out by Matt Hamlin to Butterfield, on to Burhop, back to Jack Sussay. He's looking for options. He can switch and goes wide. It's over the head of Josh Walsh. He's got a race for this one. He's under pressure. He gathers. Hand passes over his head. Gathered there by Myers for Tigers. Picked up by Ryan. He can send this long and low. Stevenson's on a leave. And he's marked strongly in front of Seb Hamlin and Joe Foley, and he can go back and have a shot.
Yeah, well, an equal good lead over there to the Tiger. Equal good lead, good kick, good delivery, and he's passed it off, but no, they've muffed it.
Through the hands of Josh Myers, and it's a good tackle by Burhop on his Tigers opponent there, and he'll take the kick. Kicks it forward, finds Josh Walsh. On to Burhop again, out wide to Sam Martin. He's got Tom Anderson all on his own as the siren blows for the end of the first quarter. The Lions hold a 21-point lead.
So one down here at the Den, the Gammain Sports Ground, 1 quarter behind us, and as Andrew talked about early, the game was a little bit scrambly the first 10 minutes, and the Lions have found their run, found their position, coming out of that backline area, a little bit more organised. So plenty of the name players of the Lions that have been racking up the stats all year. Not surprising they're continuing that good form, Andrew.
Yes, no, there's some blokes in very good form at the moment. And just need to continue on here.
Commentators will have a drink of water, regather their thoughts. Baz will have a sit down, check the gear. We'll bring you back the second quarter shortly.
Great pub accommodation and icy cold beers. Ganmain Hotel for good quality pub grub.
Ganmain News Agency, open 7 days. Lotto newspapers, the list keeps going.
Welcome back here for the second quarter at the Den. Spectators clear the ground. Coaches are given words of wisdom here at the quarter time huddle. The Lions and the Tigers.
Umpire throws it up. Cook in the ruck, taps that down into the path of Flood as he calls for another ball up. Foley and Cook wrap each other in an embrace, and the ball goes forward there, and Tom Anderson's dumped into the turf there by Best. He'll get the free kick. He's as tough as nails. Looks to send this long and low. Bernulis on a lead. Goes through his hands. Gathered by Lucas Hattie. Gets a hand pass forward. Picked up by Lockie Myers. Field gathers. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Umpire's called for a ball up. About 20 metres out from the on an angle from the Lions' goal. Bernulis and Cook in the ruck. Bernulis tries to grab it out of the ruck. It's gathered by Lockie Myers. He clears this one around the corner. Goes through the hands of Best. And it's another ball up there on that far wing. A bit of argy-bargy there. Nate Hamlin not happy with a bit of treatment. And ball's thrown up. Dan Foley taps that down. Gathered by Powell. Quick hands to Tom Anderson. On to Shannon Butterfield. On to Matt Hamlin. He can run into a goal. Kicks around on his left, but it's marked on the line there by Wadley. Goal-saving mark. Looks to send it back whence it came. Goes wide there. Matt Hamlin has got one over the shoulder. As he intercepts that mark, and he'll take the free kick. He's about 45 metres out on a very tight angle.
Yeah, a little kick there in front of the Glenheath Border Leicester stud sign. Good sponsors there. The Kemba boys out there at Cockeye Batu, Mangain.
The Lions are continuing to lead here. He's going to send this long looking for Bernulis. And it's gone through for a behind. He's made the distance, but not the accuracy.
First score of the second quarter.
Pavitt to run this in. Comes wide to the broadcast side. Play on, says the call from the umpire as it goes through the hands of Seb Hamlin. He's wrapped up in a tackle.
Yeah, umpire deemed it off the pack. The Lions 4-4-28. The Tigers 1-1-7.
Foley and Cook in the ruck. Foley with front position. Taps it forward into the path of Matt Hamlin. He can send this long again, looking for Bernulis. But it's good punch there by Wadley, and Lucas Hattie is gobbled up by Tigers' opponents, and the umpire called for a ball up.
Matt Hamlin's got it on a string, Andrew.
Yes. It's like it's seeking him out everywhere. As Jack Powell gathers that, and the ruck gets a hand pass away to Bernulis. Quick kick by Jack McKeag, and it's through for another behind. Tigers bring it in quickly, find Pavitt onto Wadley. Kicks low. Finds McPherson. He can't get his hand pass away. Flood's pressured there by the Lions, and the umpire called for a ball up. Foley with the better position, taps that down into the path of Matt Hamlin. He can't gather. Tigers hand pass back inside to Jack Flood. He kicks this high, looking for rain on a cloudless day, and it's gathered by Seb Hamlin. Gets his hand pass away. Ball's kicked back inside, but it's all Lions here, gathered by Sam Martin. He can kick this one direct. Goes wide though, looking for Sid White. Around field, he dodges. He can straighten up and send this long. It's gone through the hands of Lucas Hattie, and Pavitt's quite prepared to be taken over the sideline. Be a throw in right beside the right hand point post.
We've got down there, we've got the Gammane Bowling Club and the Coolum Butchery. Good sponsors.
Ball thrown in. Cook wins the tap, charging through his Jesse Lander there, but it's gathered by Tigers. Miss hand pass, smother there by Wadley, and he's sent this one over the sideline, and it'll be another throw in.
And on the other side of the goals, we've got the Riverina Hotel and Mark Bradley Plumbing. So if you want a burger or you want your plumbing fixed, that's the go.
Ball thrown in, Bernulis and Cook. Bernulis tries to push forward there, tries to take it out of the ruck. Butterfield's wrapped up in a tackle. The ball's on the ground there. Numbers from both sides dive in on this one, and it'll be another ball up. Bernulis taps this down into the path of Jack Powell. Coming through as Pavitt. He can't gather it in. Tom Anderson is tackled. Balls comes free from Matt Hamlin. Tigers there into the path of field. Sends this one long and wide and high. Sitting under this is Josh Walsh and McPherson for Tigers. Coming through as Burhop. Gathers one, gets a little hand pass away. Quick hands from the Lions as Jack McKegg sends this one forward. And Luxolotry. It's landed in the arms of Matt Hamlin. He's 30 metres out straight in front.
Well, you called it, Andrew.
There was numbers everywhere, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. The Lions could have raffled it, but Zach Burhop he was able to spot up Matt Hamlin. There was no Tiger within sight of him. They're going to have to tighten up on him, Andrew. He's cutting them to pieces.
Puts that straight through the middle for his second.
They don't need me to tell them that, of course. The Lions are now 5-5-35. The Tigers are 1-1. 1-1-7 with a bit over 5 minutes gone here in the second quarter.
As he comes to the bench, Matt Hamlin, and onto the ground comes Tom Anderson.
Well-deserved spell, I'd say. I've said it a number of times, it's an absolutely cracking day here at the Den. Perfect conditions.
The flags are dead still as Cook taps that one down and into the path of Ryan. He streams through the centre there. But once again, he finds Jack Sussay for the Lions. Takes a good mark, goes wide. Finds Brad Matters on that wing in front of the scoreboard. He reels around on his right, looking for Dan Foley, who has Cook chasing. Comes inside, finds Burhop. Swings around on his right, sends this one forward to the hot spot. Sitting under is Bernulis. It's through his hands. He regathers. Dodges around one. He's wrapped under tackle. And he's caught with the ball. He goes wide. Good tackle there by Jack McKegg, but it's gathered by Lance Shepherd for Tigers. He kicks forward there, finds Etchells, hand passes back inside, but his hand pass goes straight to Jack Sussay. On to Burhop, to Josh Walsh, to Shannon Butterfield, through the centre of the ground is Seb Hamlin. Wheels around on his left. This is a low daisy cutter into the path of Jack Powell. Ducks around his opponent, chips one over the top, looking for Jack McKegg. He can't gather. Now he does. Swings around on his right. Was a lot of effort for a goal there, but they've got one, the Lions. Goal to Jack McKegg.
I've said it before. You can nearly back Jack McKegg in on those ones, even when he doesn't have much time to look at it. He seems to be able to make it work, Andrew.
Yes, there was just pressure there from the Lions getting that forward, and just sort of scrubbed it through in the end.
I fancy the runner. I fancy the message went out to Tom Bernulis after he was tackled and penalised there, that to go with the first option, get rid of it on the first option, Tom?
Yeah, always the best, isn't it? As Benulis moves deep to full forward. Foley in the ruck against Cook. Foley comes around Cook's side to get that front position, and Cook over the top. Gathered here by Gorman. Quick hands on to Best. He kicks this one agriculturally forward there. Tom Quinn with front position on Beck. Good kick then by Etchells, but it's they've been pinged here for
own goal.
Well, yeah, forcing it through. He's towed off the ground by Burhop, and the goal will go to Lance Shepherd, I think, there for the Tigers.
We might give him just a benefit of the doubt there, Andrew, because it appeared to be the logical thing to do without the new rule.
Yes, well, he's in the goal square, 2 metres from goal. You're not sure who's behind him, and
he's dirty with himself for doing it. He realises now he's pleading, but there's no point in pleading. That was blatant.
He's still asking Brooksy the question.
Yeah, you're not going to die wondering.
So we're back to the centre of the ground. Goal to the Tigers.
Lions 6-5-41, Tigers 2-1-13, 10 minutes gone, second term.
Foley and Cook in the ruck. Cook taps that down. Flood tries to tow it off the ground there, gathered by Jack Sussay onto Sam Martin. He's tackled without possession.
Ridden in the back.
Yep. Sam Martin's free kick. He's told to come around behind his mark. He goes wide, finds Josh Walsh. This one on to Seb Hamlin, who's running off half back there. Dodges around one. Sends this in long and low, and it hits Jack Powell right on the chest. And he'll go back and have a shot about 43 metres out from goal.
He should eat this, Andrew. Still no breeze. He's got a kick to the southern end of the ground, the Waterview Street end. We'll keep an eye on the goal umpire. That usually tells us early which ways it's going. He come in on that trusty right foot. Drop punt, plenty of height in it. It's got the distance, faded away to the right.
Behind to Jack Powell. Wadley looks to bring this one in. He's coming wide, looking for Pavitt. Good spoil there by Sam Martin. It's over the sidelines. It'll be a throw in.
We've got Landmark Randra there, probably in the shot on the edge of your camera work there from Baz.
Dan Foley, Cook in the ruck. Throw in falls short, gathered by Shannon Butterfield. He's wrapped up in a tackle. He's going to be caught with the ball here. No, play on, says the umpire, gathered by Flood. Sends this one out. Good spoil there by Josh Walsh, gathered by Sam Martin. And he's forced over the sidelines.
So once again, there's another throw in right in front of the commentary box here. So we're all over it, close as it gets.
Throw in Foley and McPherson. Foley grabs it out of the ruck onto Shannon Butterfield. He's wrapped up in a tackle. The umpire will call for a ball up.
Pretty good display of umpiring here today, Andrew.
Yeah, no, very good guy. Rucked up again, and Tom Anderson's under this one, and the umpire calls for another ball up.
When you don't hear the crowd abusing the umpires, you know that everyone's pretty happy.
Ball tapped down by Foley. He can't pick it up. Sam Martin's over the top of the ball there. He's wrapped on a tackle, gets his hand pass out to Best. Gathered by Davis, kicks this high. Sitting under this is Jackson Conley. Coming through as Tom Quinn almost gathers it. Flood picks it up. Onto Shepherd. Onto... good tackle there on Gorman by Seb Hamlin. Play on, says the umpire. Another strong tackle. And it caught with the ball.
He's been rewarded, Seb Hamlin, for his tackling, Andrew. That's great to see. Love to see players be rewarded for their fair tackling.
He's having a good game, Seb Hamlin. Been strong back there in defence, the young fella. Kicks one across to Josh Walsh, on to Jack Sussay. He can go long. Finds Sid White on that wing. Goes forward with his kick and finds Tom Anderson. He's 80 metres from goal. Wheels around on that right. Kicks it long, looking for Benulis. He's got a break at his opponent.
Yeah,
and
mark all the way. He had the drop on his opponent.
just caught Bodley just half asleep there, and he got that 5 metres, which allowed him to take a clean mark. He plays on now around the corner. The umpire likes it.
Round the corner and over the goal umpire's head.
Tom Benulis' second goal.
Well, equally, Andrew, Tom Anderson was up to the task. He lowered the ball to for Tom Benulis to near make it impossible for his opponent to spoil.
As Nate Hamlin comes onto the field.
The Lions are 7-6-48. The Tigers are 2-1-13. 13 and a half minutes gone, second term. Ball back in the centre.
Tigers with too many in the centre at the moment, but
the bench were onto it. The players were asleep.
There's 4 players for Tigers that goes up there, gathered by Ryan. He gets his hand pass away. Gathered there by Kirk up onto Shepherd. He's wrapped up in a tackle there by Burhop, and the umpire asks for the ball, and ball up there at centre half forward for the Tigers. Thrown up, Foley front position. He takes it out of the ruck, but he's caught. And the umpire will give a free kick to McPherson. 55 metres out from goal. He's got Etchells all on his own. Almost cut off there by Matt Hamlin. Holds his ground. It's Nate Hamlin it was. Held his ground well. Ball's down into the hands of Davis. Regathered there by Matt Hamlin. Goes wide to Jake Taylor. Gets a quick left foot kick forward, but it's into the path of Tigers there. Back. They're working on that boundary line. They come inside. Ryan almost marked. Spoiled by Jack Sussay. Tom Anderson comes inside. Picked up off his toes by Jack McKegg, but he's wrapped up in a tackle. Kicks today just haven't quite been hitting the targets. Just falling short. Foley grabs that out of the ruck. Gets the smaller McPherson, but his hand pass is taken by Butterfield, and he's wrapped up in a tackle. Another ball up. McPherson gets high. Ball's tapped down. Ball goes wide towards the scoreboard. Race for it here from Sam Martin. He gathers it in. Can get a hand pass back to Jack Sussay. Kicks around the corner and finds Dan Foley at centre half back. Come inside. He found Burhop. He plays on quickly here. Sends this long and low to the 4 line. Under it is Jack Powell. It's over his head. Racing for the ball is Jake Taylor, but it's out over the sidelines.
So out in that area of the ground, we've got Price's Furniture Deliveries and the Red Star Insurance Brokers.
There'll be a throw in. Ferson and Jack McKegg in the ruck. Jack McPherson front position into the path of Powell. Breaks around one, hand passes over the top to Jake Taylor. What's he going to do with this? And it's no mistake there.
He's the opportunist.
He slotted it through.
He's ever the opportunist, Andrew. But you have to be in the right place to get the ball to do that. The Lions 8-6-54. The Tigers 2-1-13. Just superior pressure around the ground from the Lions today, Andrew, over the Tigers.
Yes, they're on top at the moment, the Lions. Just the Tigers a little bit flat. Just going through the motions. Turnovers are costing them dearly.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to have to regroup at half-time and think about it.
Foley and McPherson in the ruck. Foley taps that down. It's gathered by Tigers there through Mullins. Good pressure from Tom Anderson. The ball's back to the centre there. Budged out by Lander as Matt Hamlin slips over. Ball goes long and low, and it's a good mark to Josh Myers there, low to the ground.
They need to capitalise on this because their inside 50s have been minimal this quarter. He'll have to kick from every bit of 45 to get it. He fancies himself. He's got to give himself plenty of distance to the man on the mark. He comes in with those nice white boots. Right foot, tries to buy himself a bit of real estate, but he can't. Fall short and have a throw in out there. And we've got
good defence by the Lions. Killed that one. Stevenson was sitting under it.
We've got the Harris boys, the Harris contracting boys there. They've been super busy, and they'll only be busier now after the rain.
Throw in Foley and Etchells. Ball's on the ground there, coming through as Tom Anderson. Can't pick it up. And it's wrapped up there. Good tackle by the Lions. Josh Walsh.
Tigers need to fight to keep it in, and more importantly, score while they've got it down there. Umpire's picked out a free kick.
Hold in the ruck against Cook on Dan Foley. They both look to be holding each other, but anyway, Foley's the recipient of the free kick. Kicks out to Conley, onto Sam Martin. He finds Tom Anderson on that wing. Wheels around on that cuspy right. It's a floating ball into centre forward there. It's over the back, gathered by Field. He looks to run back around, but his hand passes into the path of Jesse Lander. Onto Jake Taylor, comes back into the centre of the ground to Nate Hamlin. Sends this one long and low to the goal square, and over the back is Jack Powell. Takes a good mark in the goal square.
Read it well. Once again, the ball was delivered well. Long and low and lean. Result, goal to the Lions, southern end of the ground. The Lions 8-6. No, that'll be 9-6. The Tigers 2-1. 20 minutes gone here now. 9-6-60. Tigers 2-1-13.
It's the Lions rotating their bench today. They've got the opportunity there.
So this could get ugly for the Tigers, Andrew, unless they come out in the second half and, I don't know, change their game plan or play a bit tighter. The Lions have just got too much free rein.
Yes, they just need to improve their disposals. Start to hit targets. They've dominated the hit-outs, but it's the Lions who've won the clearances. Shepherd comes through meet this one. It's gathered by Lockie Myers. Gets a kick up on his left foot. On to young Ryan, who's had a good game so far. Sends this one in looking for Stevenson. Comes out to meet this one, but it goes through the hands of Jack Sussay, and the ball's on the ground there under the light tower. And it'll be a ball up. No one can get that out. Foley and Cook in the ruck. Comes down into the path of Etchells, but he's wrapped up in another tackle late in this second quarter. Cook taps that down into the path of Tom Quinn. McPherson tries to break through one or two tackles, but the umpire says no prior, and Kirkup it was, so it's another ball up. Two Tigers crash into each other. The ball's on the ground there, gathered by Jack Sussay. He passes over his head. Good tackle on Best there from the Lions. Tom Quinn. Desperate stuff there late in this second term.
Andrew, there's time for the Tigers, but the pressure's just too good from the Lions.
No one can get a clear hand on it as Jesse Lander gathers and clicks this out of defence. Benulis over the top spoils. Jake Taylor taps this one forward, close to the boundary line. He's grabbed up in the tackle and he's tackled over the line, and it'll be a throw-in.
Once again, another throw-in in front of the kiosk area here at the Gammain Sports Ground.
Bit of enthusiasm coming into the Tigers players as Foley's wrapped up in a tackle. Umpire throws it up. Foley and Cook. Taps down into Matty Hamlin. He can't gather. Dan Foley tries to get a tackle away. Ball's kicked forward. Spoiled by Josh Walsh into the path of Nate Hamlin. Gabs around one. Kicks this one forward. Sitting under this is Lucas Hattie. Pavitt. Corey Pavitt's quite prepared to let that one go over the sideline.
Another ball in just to the right of the commentary box here.
Big throw in there. Cook taps that down. Coming through is Tom Anderson. He can't gather. Gets his hand pass away. Jesse Lander dives on the ball and he's copped one high. Free kick to the Lions. Swings around, kicks this one high, looking for Powell across the side. Ball's punched clear, gathered by Burhop. Hand pass back to Powell, back to Sam Martin. Chips this one forward to Tom Bernulis. He's 65 metres from goal. Chips this one up, looking for Sid White on the lead, gathered by Shannon Butterfield. His hand pass to Smothered, back to Pavitt. Does the barrel, big clearing kick, but a straight down the throat of Tom Bernulis on that far half-back flank. He'll look to send this one back in. Chips one long and low, but it's into the path of Lions for the Tigers. They cut it off. He goes wide once again and finds Wadley. Tigers just looking to slow this down late in the second quarter. Chips one over the top, finds Shepherd just inside the boundary line, plays on quickly, but he's turned it over now. It's marked by Nate Hamlin on that far wing. He plays on quickly, sends this one in long and high. Sitting under it is Lucas Hattie, but he's misjudged it and ran under the ball. It's marked by Field. Goes wide, finds Wadley.
Time might be against the Lions. There it is. Half time here at the Den. The Lions 9-6, 60. The Tigers 2-1, 13. A big gap there. The Lions have got a big break on the Tigers. They'll have to listen up and really think about it, Andrew, during half time.
Yes, 5-1 in that quarter. Game's not reaching any great heights, and Tigers just came to life a little bit 5 minutes late in that quarter. A little bit more desperation, a little bit more pressure.
They showed signs of life, but the Lions have just got too many winners across all lines of their all the lines across the ground. Too many people on top. Spoken about Matt Hamlin. Jack Powell's had multiple possessions as well, been a strong focal point up there in that forward line. So the players come to the club rooms for a break and a drink and a talk and whatever. So I mentioned before the game that we've got Riverina Bluebell here today. So Will, welcome to the commentary box here at the Den.
Thanks, Guy. Just want to say it's an honour to be invited to be part of what's going on here and to partner with two great teams or two great clubs to help support the mental health movement and getting the word out to keep communicating.
Yeah, so Will, we spoke about it before the game. You know, as we keep talking about, it's a fantastic day here. The sun is shining. You wouldn't think there's, you wouldn't think there's a worry in the world, but there's people, we know there's people that are suffering, there's people that we don't know who are suffering, and they're the people we want to reach.
Yeah, you're absolutely spot on, and mental health, as a lot of us know, is one of those things that is still very hidden. It's something we often keep to ourselves. We have struggle being able to communicate, and yeah, like you said, sometimes a day like today really comes across sometimes as a bit of a facade. There's a lot of pain and suffering going on around the place, and we really want to encourage people to connect, stay connected, and if you know someone who may be struggling, or even if you don't know somebody that's struggling, just the how you're going question is really, really valuable.
Well, I think we've got to the point where you don't wait, you don't worry, you don't think, oh, well, will I interfere? Well, you just might send a text, you might make a phone call, and I wouldn't be embarrassed about that. And you might think, well, that person will think I'm interfering, but we've got to get past that phobia. We've got to have those lines of communication open, particularly with the young people today, with the pressure. We can see the online bullying. We've seen that's had disastrous effects, and it's very hard for me as an older person to see how that can affect people, but I am well aware of it just the same.
Yeah, spot on. There was something I was thinking of earlier on that I wanted to share, and it kind of came from something a school counsellor once said, and that was that it was about grief. And a lot of people have very different experiences, and if it's the first time, say, a child experiences grief, it might be the loss of a pet or something like that. This particular school counsellor and psychologist said the amazing thing about grief is it fills somebody completely. So whether you've lost a family member or you've lost a pet, the reality is that grief can be something that fills completely, and that person really doesn't know necessarily how to communicate that. So it's really what we're asking is that, and as you sort of said, we need to get beyond those fears, beyond those barriers, and reach out and say, are you okay? How you're tracking, how you're travelling, and for those that are on the land, I spent a good part of my life on the land. Mum and Dad were always on the land, and sometimes you can endure year in and year out, but often those things have a compounding effect, like a cup that's filling up, and a small incident might be the thing that just fills that cup to the final point where it becomes difficult to bear. And so in those situations, really the sufferer, and from my own experience, I know that I haven't felt like sharing unless somebody's actually shown that they were interested enough in my life to step out of their own way to actually say, Will, how are you doing? And that's what I really encourage. As I said, Guy, it's time to get beyond our concerns. It's far better off for that individual to go, yeah, thanks for asking, Guy, but I'm actually doing okay, rather than you not asking me how I'm going and me wishing, oh, God, I wish Guy just asked me. I just didn't know whether it was okay to say something. So
yeah, well, that's the phobia that we, the people, everybody. That's everybody. There's no one's excluded from this. That's the phobia that you've got to get past. You don't be seen as being just a meddler, and you go for it. Don't hold back. What's the worst thing that can happen?
Yeah, spot on. And for the younger generation that are into the Instagram and the Facebook, you've probably seen the situations where people have been writing notes to people and dropping them at people sitting at cafes. It might be somebody sitting on their own, or they might be looking sad, and somebody just writes a special message on a piece of paper. They may not have had the bravery to walk up and start a conversation, may not have known what.
And quite often, and I think the power of listening We've all been guilty of thinking, oh, I haven't got time to run into that person today because they're possibly a person that carries on a little bit long, but that you've really got to rethink it and think, okay, well, that few minutes, if that is my life that important that I can't afford those few minutes to hear that person out, and let them go through and unload, and they'll actually feel better for it, and could make you a stronger person too.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's this grand old saying, it's been around for so long, a burden shared is a burden halved.
That's exactly right. So, Will, once again, thank you for coming up. Where you can find help in Wagga. Help is at hand. Help is not in the distance. Help is at hand immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. Jump online, do a Google search for Riverina Bluebell. Now, we're not mental health specialists. We're here to encourage mental health wellness, but we've got a bunch of links and connected services that you can find on our website. There's also a new service in Wagga run by Medicare, or under that Medicare banner. You don't need an appointment. You don't need a referral. You can just walk on down the street, walk in those doors, and they specifically employ people who have got their own personal experience and come through the other side. So really value people to talk to. And one more area that I find super valuable, because I've made use of this myself, and that is an inpatients program at the hospital, where you can, if you need to step away from life and reassure your family that you're in good hands, duck down and see the hospital, and they've got a program there which will help, just give you the time, space, and put some steps in place for you to help get life back to where you want it to be.
Well, the government weren't shy about displaying that Medicare card, what it can do for you during the election campaign, Will. So that's fantastic to think that you can front up at the hospital. You've got to get help. Yep. We can't say much more, Will. I think we've covered it pretty well.
Beautiful. Thanks, Guy. And again, thanks to the both teams for hosting us today.
Once again, Will, thank you very much for your time.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Ganmain and District Sports Club, a place to celebrate and much, much more.
Ganmain Bakery and the famous Ganmain pies. If you can bake it, we make it.
So the players are back on the ground here at the Den after they've come to the club rooms for words of inspiration at the halftime break. Andrew went into the Lions rooms, and what was the message, Andrew?
Well, they're very positive in there. Just Sam Martin wanted them just to have that glance inside, just change up their angles with their kicking, and they'll find that things will open up a lot more than what they are at the moment.
And I guess the word from the Tigers is, well, they're just going to have to tighten up.
Yes, well, the doors into the Tigers was closed, so they were probably in deeper discussion at half-time as the Tigers win this one out of the centre and send it forward there. Spoiled by Joe Foley, gathered by Josh Myers. Kicks this one high, sitting under his Etchells. Ball's punched clear by Seb Hamlin into the path of Tom Quinn. Gets a hand pass to Jack Sussay. His kick's a daisy cutter, but it's gathered by Jack McKegg onto Jack Powell. Takes one bounce through the centre of the ground, changes his angle and finds Shannon Butterfield on the clubhouse side. He goes back for his kick. He's got Benulis on a strong lead, and he's marked 50 metres out, 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
Well, that's not the start the Tigers would have liked in the third quarter here at the Den. In less than a minute, the Lions have a scoring opportunity, perfect scoring opportunities. We're directly behind Tom Benulis, the lanky number 6 for the Lions. He'll have to kick from every bit of 45-degree angle, no breeze, whatever. Right foot, sprays it wide.
Going high, flying in from the side as Lucas Hattie almost takes a mark. Ball's on the ground there, and umpire will call for a ball up.
Could have paid it. Never mind. You go again, Lucas.
He had 2 goes of it. Ball's thrown up. Sid White, front position. Cook taps it over the top. Coming through is Shannon Butterfield, but it's forced over the sidelines there for a throw in.
Right up against the point post. Grain Corp, they've got those facilities at Grong Grong and Coolamon locally.
Cook and White in the ruck. Just a shallow throw in there, but it's come into the hands of Sid White, and he snapped truly around the corner and put it through the big sticks.
I was waiting. I thought the boundary umpire might have said we'll do it again, but he let it go, Andrew. So the Lions opportunist on that occasion. The Lions 10-6, 66. The Tigers 2-1-13 with 2 minutes gone here in the third term.
Yes, it's not the start the Tigers wanted. The Lions getting the first one on the board this third term.
No, they're risking a blowout here. The Tigers just look flat, Andrew. I don't know where the inspiration's going to come from.
Yes, I don't think we've seen a goal from Stevenson so far today. He hasn't seen much of the ball. The Lions' defence has been dominant. They've been on top. Only spot that dominated is the hit-outs as Cook wins another one. And it's going to be wrapped up. Another ball up. Cook again. But it's gathered this time by Matt Hamlin. Gets a kick forward looking for Lucas Hattie. Him and his opponent. Pavitt overrun the ball, but Pavitt's first back for the ball. He swings one way, then the other, but it's good pressure there by, deemed to be a push against Josh Walsh, and the kick will go to McPherson. Didn't look to be much in it, but McPherson's got the ball on the wing here in front of the sheds. Kicks this one high, looking for Stevenson. He's got 3 on him. And over the shoulder against Stevenson, and it's a free kick to Dan Foley. He goes across to his brother Joe, on to Burhop. He can go wide to the far side, finds Matt Hamlin. He can play on, takes a bounce, hand passes over, looking for Tom Anderson. Puts it out in front of him. Send this one in long and low, but Cook cuts that one off. Coming through is Taylor, gathered by Sid White. He's wrapped up in a tackle, and the umpire Says he was caught the ball and it'll go to Wadley. Goes to the far side. He's got Etchells. It's a good kick. Marks over his opponent in Nate Hamlin. He can play on quickly. The umpire's called 50 here. Maybe Tom Anderson encroached too close. He's got the hands out asking how. But Etchells has got this. And
well, this is Tiger's best opportunity for a long time.
He's on the 50. Tips one short and low, and he's found Stevenson. Lions were not able to fill the gaps there, and he's marched into a...
It was a good low grass cutting pass, Andrew, and kick was effective, and the player was diving on his knees, and he was able to hold it. He'll have to kick from 43, 44 metres. Still no breeze, whatever. Let's keep an eye on the goal umpire at the southern end of the ground. Comes in, good deliberate run up with that right foot. Goal umpire likes it. Goal to the Tigers. A much needed goal to the Tigers. That's an understatement. Lions 10-6, 66. Tigers 3-1, 19. 5 minutes gone here in the third term now. Can that ignite a bit of a Tigers run?
Can they put some more scores on the scoreboard?
More
goals is what they need.
Give their supporters something to get up out of their seats and get a bit of feeling into it.
Cook and Foley again in the ruck. Cook wins that down. Taps it over the back to Flood, but he's tackled by Dan Foley. Gets it on to Jack Powell. Kicks a left foot kick forward into the path of Jesse Lander. He dives on this one. Can't control it. He drags it back in, and umpire says, give it to me. I'll ball it up.
A little bit lucky to get away with that. Once you drag it in, you're normally penalised.
Don't see it a lot in country football, but Foley with front position gets his hands on it. Hand passes out the back to Sam Martin. Quick, clever little kick into the centre of the ground of Tom Anderson. He plays on quickly. His kick's not so clever, though. It's hit the ground, but coming through his boo up, but he's wrapped up in a tackle. He's gone. Free kick, Tigers.
Yeah, well, the poor kick put Zach Burhup under pressure there, Andrew.
Flood with this one. He comes wide, but Matters has just come off the bench, but it's a good mark to Ryan. He sends this one long, looking for Stevenson again, but cutting in front of him is Jack Sussay. He can't hold the ball. McPherson drags it in. The umpire calls for a ball up.
Tigers looking to trap it inside their 50 and score again.
Foley taps that down to Etchells, though. He gathers back to Sab Hamlin, comes wide here to Tom Anderson, back to Brad Matters. He's on his right. He sends this forward looking for Jake Taylor. He can't take the mark. Ball's on the ground there, gathered by Gorman. He's wrapped up in a tackle. The umpire says, give it to me. We'll ball it up. Right on the boundary line in front of the Gamain interchange. Cook and Foley. Foley taps that down, gathered by Matters. Keeps it inside. Swings around on his right. Powell's held here and the umpire's called it. Pavitt had hold of him. He's got it on the wing. He's got Matt Hamlin free in the centre. He's made space. He's got Sid White all on his own, deep. The ball's not going to reach him, but he's regathered. Umpire's paid the mark, even though he did kick it on, and Nate Hamlin's continued on and kicked the goal, but he's going to call it back. Sid White will have the shot, 35 metres out, or 30 metres out from goal, straight in front.
Well, I don't blame the Tigers. Jack Powell got that free kick there, Andrew, for being held. You don't blame him. He's cutting them up, so it's a good idea to hold him, but it was illegal on that occasion.
Yes, it was right in front of the umpire. Had to pay it. So Sid White comes in looking for his third goal of the game. Kicks on its way. Goal umpire doesn't move.
That was a
That's
goal.
A reply.
goal from the time it left his boot. (11-6), 72 for the Lions. The Tigers 3-1-19 with 10 minutes gone now. What have the Tigers got? Not a lot of Tiger in the tank today, Andrew. They're lacking a bit.
Yes, I'm not sure who they've got out of their side, but they've been a bit better than this on occasions. I watched them play Coolman there when Dane Swan and Casbolt played for them, and they were very good that day. They're just off their game today as Cook taps that down, but it's the follow-up from Dan Foley that's assisting the Lions out of that centre, and ball comes through Matters out to Sid White. He kicks this long low, looking for Benulis, gone over his head into the arms of Jake Taylor. He hand passes on to Jack Powell, and he kicks his second goal of the game.
Well, less than 2 minutes ago, I talked about how Jack Powell was a handful. Well, that's just going to continue.
He's all alone over the back of the pack.
Yeah, they're going to have to pay a bit more attention to him. He's not the only one, but anyway. The Lions 12-6, 78. The Tigers 3-1-19 with 10.5 minutes gone now. Lions really busting it open here in the third term.
Well, for the Lions' sake, percentage could be important, trying to get that double chance. Foley and Cook in the ruck. Foley taps that down in the path of Matt Ham. Quick little hands onto Tom Anderson. Ball's kick long. Sitting under this is Lucas Hattie. The ball's on the ground there. Coming through is Jackson Conley. Good tackle on field there for the Tigers. And the umpire call for a ball up. Ball tapped down by Cook, gathered by Jackson Conley. Gets a hand pass out the back to Brad Matters. He can send this one in long from 50, but well judged by Jack Powell over the back. He's taken a mark. He'll go back and line up for his third goal in a matter of a minute.
He's the man of the moment.
Runs around the corner, easy as you like, and puts it through for the Lions. This could get ugly.
Lions 13-6, 84. The Tigers 3-1-19. 12 minutes gone now, third term. Yeah, no, it's got the potential to really blow, Andrew, unfortunately.
And Sam Martin be wanting his troops to keep the foot down. He wouldn't want them to be dropping off. Tigers needs to answer.
Yeah, Tigers have got to step up here now if they're going to be any threat to the competition for the rest of the year.
Back to the centre of the ground. Foley and Cook in the ruck. Cook wins it again. In the path of Best. He sends this one forward. Under it is Seb Hanlon. Coming through is Stevenson. Swings around on his left, looks wide, looking for Lance Shepherd. He can't take the mark. On to Brad Matters, on to Zach Burhop. All Lions out of the fence here. Jackson Conley's got it on the wing. He hand passes it to Matt Hamlin. He's on the run here. Flood can't keep up with him. Comes to Lucas Hattie. Can come back to the centre of the ground to Sam Martin. He's got Jack Powell on the lead. It's gone through his hands. Grabbed by Sid White. Swings around on his right. Sends this forward, but it hasn't had good connection. And it's out of bounds on the far pocket. Throw in.
Andrew, the Lions have got time, space, run, everything.
Yes, they seem to have that little bit extra time in this game as Wadley's caught the ball. Gets a quick kick away there. Hand pass back to Pavitt. Looks to come inside. Goes through the hands of Tom Anderson. Coming through is Butterfield Shannon. Gathered by Jackson Conley. Gets his hand pass away. It's gathered by Mullen. He gets a grubbing kick forward. Gathered by Jack Sussay. Hand passes wide to Josh Walsh. To Zach Burhop. He'll look to switch. He's come back through the centre of the ground. He's got numbers there. Seb Hamlin's marked just shy of the centre. Germain side. He'll look to send this in. And he's chipped a little short one, 20 metres, and finds Dan Foley 40 metres out from goal. Straight in front. He's looking to unload. There's a paddock.
Just too easy.
And he's found Jake Taylor. Yep. There was heaps of room there just to give a little chip over the top. It's Shannon Butterfield. He'll line up 25, 30 metres out from goal.
Just not enough discipline there from the Tigers to cover all the holes. It's got to be better than that.
Kicks on its way. The goal umpire gave it as a behind.
Faded to the left in the last few metres of the kick. The Lions 13-7-85. The Tigers 3-1-19. 15 minutes gone.
Field to bring this back in for the Tigers. Kicks this one towards the Tigers bench. Good leap there by Pavitt. Couldn't hold the mark. Gathered by the Tigers. Comes inside to McPherson. He's wrapped up in the tackle. Little hand pass to Kirkup. On to Pavitt. Then on to Lockie Myers. On to Cook. Puts one in front of McCulloch. He can't gather. Gathered by Seb Hamlin. He slipped over. Picked up off the ground by Bernulis. On to Joe Foley. His kick doesn't reach anyone in particular. Gathered by Ryan. He gets a hand pass away. Gathered by Nate Hamlin. Charging through. He hand passes one over the top. Looking for Matt Hamlin. He's tackled. Releases the ball into the path of Dan Foley. He tries to gather. Kicks around on his right. Finds Matt Hamlin. Play on, says the umpire. And chips one short into Tom Anderson. He plays on. Has a running shot at goal. And it's through. Tom Anderson's first goal of the game.
The Lions content to share it around. Why wouldn't you? They've got players loose in the forward line.
Tigers have got no answer.
The Lions 14-7-91. The Tigers 3-1-19. 16 minutes gone now.
When you're chasing hard all day, it's hard to keep it up for 4 quarters.
You know, unless the Lions ease up, Andrew, I can't see where it's going to get better for them. The Lions are just hungry for it today.
Bernulis in the ruck. Cook wins it, but Bernulis gathers. Gets a hand pass out to Nate Hamlin on the run. Kicks this long, low, looking for cousin Matty. Ball's gathered by Jack McKegg. Gets a hand pass away, but it's cut off by McCulloch. He's wrapped up in a tackle by Matt Hamlin. On to Jack McKegg, and he has a banana kick, running banana kick at goal, and he slotted it through.
The outside of the right boot. He's got those skills to dob those goals.
Just perseverance there from the Lions. And because they're on top, they're just rotating their bench quite regularly today.
Well, they're doing as they please, Andrew, unfortunately for the competition. The Lions 15-7-97, the Tigers 3-1-19 with nearly 18 minutes gone. The clock can't go fast enough for the Tigers. Not often we can say that, Andrew. There's normally not a lot between these two clubs.
Bernulis is in the ruck again, up against Cook, but it's gathered by Jesse Lander. His hand pass is smothered. On to Bernulis, back to Tom Anderson. His kick goes forward, gathered by Tigers there. Good tackle by Nate Hamlin. It'll be a ball up. Cross half forward for the Lions. Cook and Bernulis in the ruck. Tapped down by Cook, coming through as Ryan. He's caught one high. He's been good for the Tigers today. He's one that stood up.
They've got to get something out of this.
Goes short. Finds Flood. Back to Ryan. He looks to gain some run there. Kicks this forward. Looking for Josh Myers. Tom Quinn over the back. He's got it. Back to Seb Hamlin. He's going to have to get rid of this quickly. He does. Back to Tom Quinn on his left. The kicks missed target there, Jack Sussay, but he's regathered onto Nate Hamlin. Back to Jesse Lander. He can go wide. He's kicked this high. Puts it up to Tom Anderson, but he's up to the task. Takes the mark. fakes a hand pass, comes back inside, sends this one long and high, sitting under as Matt Hamlin comes out to meet it. He's bumped under the ball there by Wadley, back to Wadley again, and he sends this one high out of the fence, sitting under this is McPherson. Almost spoiled there by Tom Anderson. On to Flood now. Run here from the Tigers. But Bernulis has got back in defence and cut off Stevenson's lead.
Read it well. Beautifully cut off by Tom Bernulis.
So switch here, but that kick is going to be marked strongly by Davies. And he can send it back in for the Tigers. But a one-step kick, it's not good. Oh, and Seb Hamlin's head's been pulled off there. No malice in it, but...
no, it was accidental.
He'll get the free kick if he can regain his feet.
Having a good game too, Andrew.
So he'll take the kick. Centre half back there for the Lions. Recommence play. Just chip a little short one to Tom Quinn. Unattended in the back half there for the Lions. Comes to the shed wing, looking for Josh Walsh. And he marks in from behind McPherson. On to Matters. Gives one on to Bernulis. He's wrapped up in a tackle though. Gets his hand pass away, but he's caught.
Yeah, just a moment too long. He just one step too many.
Pavitt to take the kick. One who's shone for the Tigers this year, moved from forward line to defence, and he sent this one high right in front of the Germain box, and it's out over the boundary for a throw-in.
Those little water boys down there might want to keep an eye on the play, Andrew. They'll get bowled over. Yes,
they should be well behind that line as the ball comes in. Bernulis taps it down. Coming through is Tom Anderson. He's been good around the contest for the Lions today too. Gets a hand pass to Sam Martin. Charging pass. He has one bounce through the centre of the ground. Looks to kick this one long and low, and he's got Sid White who almost takes a juggling mark. Lucas Hattie recovers. Gets a hand pass out wide to Shannon Butterfield. He can't take it. Coming through is Pavitt. He's wrapped up in a tackle, but high from Lucas Hattie against Pavitt, and he'll get the free kick. He can switch for the Tigers, but it's a terrible switch because he's put it straight down the throat of Jake Taylor, 20 metres out from goal.
Well, there probably couldn't be a worse person to intercept it for the Tigers. I won't put it up yet, but he's only got a kick from 30.
And he's missed.
Yeah.
He's missed.
I've done it again. The Lions 15-8, 98. The Tigers 3-1, 19 with 22 minutes gone now.
As young Pavitt goes to the bench after that indiscretion. It was just a poorly directed kick as Tigers look to bring it back in through Wadley. They find McCulloch in the back pocket. Sends this long and low. It's found field. Quickly pays on to Josh Myers. Lance Shepherd can't pick that up. He's wrapped up in a tackle and umpire calls for a ball up. Dan Foley taps that down. Coming through is Lockie Myers. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Gets a hand pass, though, gathered by the Lions with Tom Quinn to Matt Hamlin. Kicks wide, looking for Sid White. It's gone over the back of the pack. Coming through is Jackson Connolly. He gathers. Gets a hand pass over to Sid White. Another hand pass to Jack McKegg. He can kick inside. He's got Jesse Land, a good vision. And he'll have a shot. Similar spot to Jake Taylor's previous miss.
Is this his first goal today, Andrew?
Yes. Yes, he hasn't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9 individual goal scorers, and Jesse Lander will make 10.
The Lions 16-8, 104. They've hit the ton. Tigers 3-1, 19. 24 minutes gone now, so siren any time once the ball gets back to the centre.
We're in a 7-goal quarter to 1 for the Lions.
Yeah.
Their best quarter so far.
No, it's not a good sign for the Tigers.
Well, it was a very good contest in the under-17s today. The Lions eventually got on top in a well-fought match. Very strong competition in the RFL in the 17s at the moment.
Oh,
The Tigers sitting bottom of the ladder, but yeah, anyone can win on their day. And then it was a come-from-behind win from the reserve grade side, their second win of the year for the Lions. As Tigers get this out of the centre and kick it forward, but it's punched by Josh Walsh, picked up by Joe Foley, kicks into the centre of the ground, finds Matt Hamlin, and he sends one forward and finds Sid White on a strong lead. He'll go back and have a shot on goal for his 4th. He's about 40 metres out. It'll have to be a good kick.
40 metres out, 45-degree angle on the eastern side of the ground in front of the scoreboard. Big new impressive light tower there in the shot. Comes in with his drop punt, falls short, mark to the Tigers in the square.
Good mark by Cook. That's what you want to see your ruckman do. Get down deep in defence there and cut them ones off as he looks to come inside. Good spoil by Shannon Butterfield on Myers. He's got a hell of a corky there. Good tackle by Powell. Ball spills 3. Good pressure from the Lions there. On to Tom Anderson to Josh Walsh, and he finds Matt Hamlin. He's marked 45 metres out from goal. A few big, heavy contests in that passage of players. Matt Hamlin plays on, gives it to his cousin Nate, and he's missed. Through from behind.
The Lions 16-9, 105. The Tigers 3-1-19. 26 minutes gone now.
As Wadley brings it in, he finds his Tigers teammate right on the boundary line, but he looks to come inside and he's coughed it up. Jesse Landers marked this 40 metres out from goal. It's been a story of the day from the Tigers there as Sid White takes a good mark. He's copped one high as he's taken it, but he stood tall and he'll go back and have another shot on goal.
Yeah, he wasn't over impressed with his opponent.
No.
With his, anyway, he thought, well, I won't remonstrate. I'll go back and kick a goal. That's the best thing I can do. Deep in the pocket, northern end of the ground.
Kicks on its way and it's across the face of goal. It's through for another behind.
Lions now 16-10, 106. The Tigers 3-1-19.
As Pavitt, who's back on the ground, will take this kick in. Undecided which way to go, so he comes to the clubhouse side, kicks this one in, but it's a good, strong mark from Tom Quinn. You could see he was going to take that from 10 metres away. Sends this back in, looking for Jack McKegg. He gathers, gets his hand pass back to Jack Powell, dodges around 1 and 2 onto Matt Hamlin. He's under pressure here, he's tackled high, plays on there. It's gathered by Gorman for Tigers, kicks this one forward. Numbers here for the Lions, race for the ball from Shepherd. Joe Foley tries to gather it in, gets a good bounce now and he can take hold of it, send it wide, finds Burhop in front of the scoreboard. Comes inside, finds Coach Sam Martin on the wing, finds Tom Quinn. He can come this side to Bernulis, he's all on his own. He's got Mattis further afield. The Lions have used this well and he can send this in long and low, and it's gone over the top of Jack McKegg. And it's out of bounds near the point post.
We'll have a throw in there in front of the Alan Harris McDonald, the funeral directors from Wagga. No.
No, out on the full it's called.
Free
right.
kick.
Yeah.
Or insufficient intent, one or the other.
The siren goes.
Doesn't matter. It's all over here in the third term. Having said that, the game's virtually all over too, you might as well say.
Yes, so 7-1, third quarter. The Lions dominated. So they'll be looking to push on here in the last Tigers will be looking to save a bit of face and be competitive in this last quarter.
Yeah, Tigers have
Take something out of the game.
They've really got to try and find something in this last quarter. All clubs go for a. We've got a bye next weekend, so they've got. It's a general bye, isn't it, Andrew? League bye next weekend. So they've got 2 weeks. They really need to put something into this last quarter, throw everything at it, and try and instill something for their supporters. So we'll cut away there for the break and bring you the last quarter, and hopefully the Tigers can give a bit of a lift.
Amazing service and carefully sourced homewares and furniture. Fisher and Farmer.
Coolaman Butchery, a great place to meet up. Yummy yum yum.
For all your AG, vet chemicals, fertilizer and bulk fuel, go to Logan and Hitchens.
Back here for the last quarter at the Ganmain Sports Ground. What can the Tigers bring to the game to close it out, Andrew?
Yes, well, I'm just looking to see if their coaching staff have made any changes to try and stem the flow. I see Pavitt's come up to the wing on Sam Martin. Stevenson, who's played a lot of his career in defence, is still in the forward line. Other than that, it's continue on as normal. As Cook and Foley in the ruck. Foley gathers it out of the ruck, kicks one forward. It's off the side of his boot there. Lance Shepherd, who's moved from forward line to defence now, but he's tackled. Fields tackled. And it's held up in the Lions forward line. It'll be a ball up. White and Cook in the ruck. Cook with front position, taps it down to Flood. He clears a big bomb forward. Stevenson under this, pressure from Jack Sussay. He regathers, gets his hand pass away. Gathered by Lyons. Hand passes one over the top to Davis. His kick is smothered, picked up by Joe Foley. Back to Dan Foley's brother, to Jack Sussay. Gets a hand pass forward, finds Matt Hamlin. He's tackled on that far wing, and the umpire will call for a ball up. Foley and Cook in the ruck. Ball gathered by Best, kicks it forward for the Tigers, but gathered by Nate Hamlin. He kicks this one forward, coming out to meet it is Shepherd. Good pressure from Jack McKegg, gets a little hand pass on to Matt Hamlin. He breaks around one tack, he sends this high looking for Bernulis, but it's good spoil by Wadley. Bernulis first to the ball, it's tapped out the back to Powell, sockers it forward into the path of Sam Martin. He throws it away, gets away with it too, and it's on to Pavitt. He hand passes over the top to Cook, back to Shepherd. Clearing kick by the Tigers here out to Best. He can run and carry here, takes one, but he's pressured. Hand pass is not a good one. Outnumbered here 2-3, but Best regathers, comes inside to Gorman. He can't hold the ball, met strongly by Tom Quinn and deemed to be high on Gorman. He'll get the free kick.
What can the Tigers do from here?
He's got Ryan on a lead. Good spoil there by Seb Hamlin. Burhop that was. Picked up by Matters. Comes inside and finds Lucas Hattie. Hand pass back to Sam Martin. Runs from defence. Kicks this one forward, but behind is Sid White. He regathers. Sends this one forward. And it's a good mark there to Jack McKegg, and he'll have a shot at goal. 27 metres out on a 45-degree ankle. It was good judgment there by Jack Powell. Just stayed out of that contest. Kept his man out of it.
Yeah, good awareness.
Allowed Jack McKegg to take the mark, Guy.
Plenty of space for Jack McKegg. He's not worried about the frost, Andrew, with that haircut.
No, it's a change up for Jack McKegg. As he goes for his third, and he's slotted it through.
Yeah, all the way. Lions 17-10, 1-12. Tigers 3-1-19 with 3 minutes gone now in the last.
Leading goal kicker along with Sid White and Jack Powell, all on 3 goals apiece.
Yeah, it's good to see the Lions multiple goal kickers. That's really the way in modern football, Andrew.
Tom Bernulis 2 and Matt Hamlin 2, and 1 each to Jake Taylor, Lucas Hattie, Jesse Lander. back to the centre of the ground. Been a huge day with the junior football, junior netball, senior netball and senior football here again at the Ganmain Sports Ground. They are playing for the Bluebell Cup today, Guy. We must find out later who was the recipient of that out of both teams. Those Tigers look to clear the centre here with this one, but it's gathered by Brad Matters back to Matt Hamlin. He coughs a hand pass up, gets one forward though, gathered by Ryan, sends this in long, looking for Stevenson. He guards this front position, but ball falls short, gathered by Joe Foley to Zach Burhop, who switches across goal, and he finds Josh Walsh. He can give a little hand pass out the back to Zach Burhop, which he does. And he plays on. He takes a bounce. Kicks down the wing.
Everyone could see that, what was going to happen by the Tigers.
Yep. And it's gone over the back of the pack. And it's a fight for the ball here from Shepherd. He tries to gather it in. And Sid White comes in the tackle, gathered by Bernulis. He breaks one tackle. Gets his kick away, sends it forward. Over the back is Shannon Butterfield. He can't take the mark. Charging through is Jack McKeag, was gathered by Jack Powell. Chips a little one forward to Matt Hamlin. He's looking into the sun. He's spoiled there. And Tommy Anderson picks it up and says, thank you very much for the chocolates. It's a goal.
Another one of those toe poke outside of the right foot. Goal, southern end of the ground, Tom Anderson.
He gets his second.
Well played by the Lions. Play emanated here right from below us in the box. Across the ground, Matt Hamlin lost it in the sun. Also had a little bit of front-on interference. Not enough, the umpire said, but didn't matter. Lions goal. Lions now 18-10, 118. The Tigers stuck on 3-1-19 with not quite 6 minutes gone. No, it's just been relentless from the Lions, Andrew.
Can they break the 20-goal barrier mark?
Don't often see that.
No, not in today's modern football. Scoring can be very low, can't it? There's a lot of pressure and tactics, defensive tactics.
Good tight game last week against Hervey Park. Some pretty good scrimmages.
Dan Foley taps that down in the path of Cook. But it's gathered by Kirkup. He actually kicking it the wrong way there, but it's come to an advantage there. It's marked by Mullins across half back. Some might say he meant to do that. Mullen can go wide.
We'll give him the benefit of it today, Andrew.
Kicks it back to Kirkup. He can chip one on forward, finds best. Tigers just trying to control the ball. They've tried to do this all day. It's that third or fourth kick which can come unstuck, but that's 4 in a row now. They've found a target as Etchells got it in the centre of the ground. But he's kick smothered as he kicks it straight into the arms of Dan Foley, and back it comes. Marked by Jack McKeag on the wing.
Gives the Lions back the control now.
He goes wider. Finds Josh Walsh, who's had a very good game today. He's had a lot of possessions for a defender.
Yeah, Josh is coming up the ground a fair bit.
Comes to Tom Quinn, but his kick misses Lucas Hattie. Spoiled by Tigers. Back to Dan Foley. Josh Walsh kicks one forward. It's a free kick downfield, but it was marked by Lucas Hattie.
Yeah, Josh Walsh dumped late after he got rid of it.
He's got the ball on the far wing there, and he's just popped it up to Brad Matters. Lions on that far side of the ground. He sends one in long to full forward. Bernulis coming out, and it's a great mark. Leapt up high, and he's taken a mark 30 metres out on a fairly tight angle.
He does that often. He makes it look so easy. Sometimes Andrew looks like he's too far under the ball, but he's got those long arms, and he sort of springs backwards and drags it in.
Yeah, 198 centimetres. It's a very tall man. He's got great athleticism. He'll go back and have a shot for his third. Kicks on its way. Umpire likes it.
The players like it.
That's Bernulis' third.
Yeah, we'd love to see those overhead marks. They're not, you wouldn't call it a specky, but he's very strong, Andrew, overhead. The Lions 19-10, 124. The Tigers stuck on that 3-1-19 with 8.5 minutes gone now. Jack McKeag to the bench. Jake Taylor on the ground. Sam Martin going to come back on the ground too.
Back to the centre. Foley taps this one forward. Gathered by Ryan. Wheels around on his trusty left foot. Comes wide looking for Etchells. The ball's on the grab, but he's done a hamstring, unfortunately.
He'll be straight off.
He's like a shot duck there. Nay hurt. And the ball comes forward here. Jake Taylor's taken the mark.
Been on the ground in a minute and he's got a mark.
He's kick smothered. McCulloch gets his hands on it, but gathered by Jackson Connolly. Gets a hand pass out to Sid White. He can send this long. He's got Lucas Hattie at the back. And he's taken a good mark looking into that sun, and he'll go back and have a shot.
Just go back to that play there below us, Andrew. Jackson Connolly was able to have a fend off. Smart handball over his head. Players must have been talking there, and they were able to get it into Lucas Hattie. Good mark in the top of the goal square, southern end of the ground. He'll kick from 15 metres, makes no mistake.
Lucas Hattie's second goal.
Lions 20-10, 130. Tigers 3-1-19, 10 minutes gone. Still inflicting damage on the Tigers.
105-point lead. Yeah, so Etchells was looks like a late inclusion today. I'm not sure who came out of their side. But, maybe, yeah, Seb Snelling. I haven't noticed him number 19 today, so he missed the game, and unfortunately Etchells has sustained a hamstring. As the ball comes out of the back of the centre, and the ball comes into the path of Burhop onto Matt Hamlin. He chips this one into the foreline, and coming out to meet it is Sid White.
No, it's just rinse and repeat, really.
As Tigers suffer another injury here, Jack Flood went down in that contest, whether it's a knee or a calf. So that's a walking wounded here for the Tigers.
Well, they're going to enjoy the general bye, Andrew.
Sid White comes in with this kick, lining up for his fourth.
Missed it to the right.
Yep, it's another behind. That's 3-3 for Sid White.
2011, 131, Tigers 3-1-19, 11.5 minutes gone now.
Comes into Shepherd. He sends forward, sitting on his Benulis. Almost marks, regathers, he's tackled, and he's caught with the ball. And it's a good tackle by Pravitt. He's had a good game. Only that indiscretion in the third quarter where he went to go across goal and put it straight down the throat of the Lions. He kicks this one forward. Sitting under this is McPherson, but it's a push. Deemed to be a push, was it?
Seb Hanlon pushed his man. No.
Well, he said a mark. I thought
mark,
he didn't raise his hands very high, but it's anyway. It's a mark, and it's a grubbing kick forward. It's grabbed by Lance Shepherd. It'll come back towards McPherson and Seb Hamlin. The ball's on the ground, coming through as Gorman. He puts his body on the line. The ball spills free. Gathered by Tigers there. Best can't pick it up. Gathered by Jackson Connolly, and he's shoved in the back.
Yeah, free kick right on the
free kick.
Yeah,
much to the disgust of the Tigers bench.
No, I don't think you can argue with that.
No, it was blatantly in the back. And he chips one back to Joe Foley. The Lions on the run here. Seb Hamlin on to Tom Quinn, to Tom Anderson. Looks one into the forward line. Coming over the back is Powell, but it's gathered by Mullen. On his left foot, kicks his forward again. Joe Foley's gone through his hands. Chance here for the Tigers to score.
Can they get a late one?
They send this long, good lead from Josh Myers, but it's spoiled by Burhop over the sidelines.
Red best by Zach Burhop. Burhop, I'll get it out eventually. Fisted over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in there. The sponsor is Ganmain Pharmacy. Tin down there in the main street. Umpire's not happy with the ruck free kick, is it? To the Tigers pushing in the ruck.
A little bit of indiscretion over who was actually going for the ruck. And
yeah, two in the ruck, not allowed. Yep.
Josh Walsh pushed the Tigers ruckman out of the way, and yes, McPherson will have a shot on goal now.
A belated one for the, if he can kick it for the Tigers. Surely he can get it.
It's a good kick.
All the way.
It's a goal to McPherson. That's the Tigers' fourth. They've kicked a goal in each quarter.
It's too late for them, Andrew, to add any respectability, but they might as well add what they can. The Lions 20-11, 131. The Tigers 4-1-25. Not quite 15 minutes gone.
As Sam Martin's having a bit of fun down there in the forward line, Tigers forward line. A little bit of banter carrying on after that shot on goal. We're back to the centre of the ground. 15-minute mark of the last quarter. Bernulis and Cook in the ruck. Cook wins that tap. Down to Ryan, but he's tackled high.
High.
Chips one short, but once again, it's a missed kick. But comes back to Ryan. He's tackled. Play on, says the umpire. He regathers, though, and sends this one forward. Under this is Stevenson. Lions spoil. Tackled is Sam Martin. Gives this one to Josh Walsh. He dodges around one. Comes long and wide. Sitting under this is Jake Taylor, and he's front on contact there. Free kick.
Got to go back behind. Wants the Tigers player to come back on the mark. Yep.
He can go wide. He's got Bernulis in the centre of the ground. The ball's going to hit the ground, but he's regathered. Can switch it out to the far side to Brad Matters. He can send this long. He can have a flying shot at goal. And he's dobbed it. Brad Matters' first goal for the Lions.
He could see the space, Andrew. He had time to... He wasn't under pressure. He had time to line it up. The Lions 21-11, 137. The Tigers 4-1-25 with 16 minutes gone now. The siren can't come quick enough for the Tigers. Must be agony in that situation. The old scoreboard here at the Den, Andrew, looks resplendent. There's most of the grounds now have got the electronic scoreboard.
Yes, and just a bit of debate amongst the club when we will go with the new scoreboard or continue with the old. As the ball's tapped down by Bernulis to Matt Hamlin, back to Bernulis. He kicks this forward looking for Jake Powell, but he's caught, and the umpire will ball it up.
That scoreboard nearly be heritage listed like Baz, wouldn't it, Andrew?
Yeah, you might be able to tell me, Guy, how old it is. It's probably 60 or 70-year-old, I suppose.
No, you'll have to get that information from Barry Logan. Every bit of that, I expect.
Yes. As Tigers look to bring this out of defence, the ball's on the ground there. Ryan's wrapped up in a tackle, and he can't break free. Gets his kick away, and yes, he's been caught with the ball. Tom Anderson has possession, 40 metres out from goal. He likes his chances here.
Keen to kick it. Why not?
You got no breeze.
Couldn't get a better day to kick from the 50. Can't miss him with those orange boots.
Runs around to help his angle, sends it on its way, and it's cleared the line.
He's up to the task.
Oh, it's touched. It looked like it cleared the line.
Okay, I thought he was raising two hands, but never mind, Tom. Might get another go.
So Wadley brings it in, finds Shepherd in that back pocket, kicks this wide, looking for Stevenson. Gets around Burhop, chips one forward, finds Wadley on that far wing. Sun in his eyes, shields it. Doesn't know whether to go forward or back, sends it forward on his left, coming to meet us McPherson. He's copped one high, and he'll go back and try and send this forward into the 50 for the Tigers. He hand passes this one to Shepherd. Sends this in long and low, but it's a great mark. No, not paid to Joe Foley as it hits the ground, and umpire call for a ball up.
Joe Foley, bit unlucky not to be paid the mark there.
Seemed to have good purchase, but the ball's thrown up. McPherson over the top. And it's been touched, has it? A bit of indecision here. There was a quick kick out of the pack by a Tigers player. And not sure whether it was touched or...
Might be a goal.
It is a goal.
Late goal for the Tigers.
I think it was young Myers kicked that one. We'll give it to Josh Myers.
Lions 21-12, 138. Tigers 5-1-31. 19.5 minutes gone.
As Tom Quinn comes back onto the ground and he's heading into the forward line.
Oh, we're trying to get more goal kickers, Andrew.
Yeah. Well, the Griffith game, I think Jack Sussay and Josh Walsh.
Jack got on the board at Griffith, much to his mother's delight.
So it's back to a 107-point lead as the ball's thrown up. Bernulis gets up higher this time. Regathers out of the ruck to Matt Hamlin, onto Burhop. Dodges around one, breaks one tackle, two tackles, has a bounce. Sends this in long, looking for Lucas Hattie. It's gone over his back. Coming through is Tom Quinn, but he can't keep his feet, and the ball's through from behind.
He was in the right place, Andrew.
Yep, was right there.
You could smell it.
As Wadley runs this ball out, hand pass to Field. He's got a switch. He can't know which way to go. He kicks it up and finds Mullen. He's marked on the 50. Kicks this forward, looking for Ryan. Butterfield through Ryan's hands. Gathered by Butterfield. Hand pass on to Jack McKegg. Oh, missed hand pass there to Nate Hamlin. And Pavitt's wrapped up in a tackle by Shannon Butterfield and Jack McKegg. Some very sore players on the Tigers side. Done a power of work as Bernulis grabs that out of the ruck. Gets one to Tom Anderson, chips this forward, looking for Lucas Hattie. It's a good leading mark. Plays on quickly, finds Matt Hamlin. He fakes the hand pass, fakes the tackle, and kicks it on the outside of his boot.
Not to be outdone, we've had about 3 goals today on the outside of the boot. Deliberately, I might add.
And that's his third.
Good skills. Good mark, Lucas Hattie. Did well to give it off. Lions 22-13, 145. Tigers 5-1-31. Will the Lions hit 1.5 tons, Andrew? How long since we've had 1.5 tons?
Yes, it's been a while. Well, I'm not sure what the score at the Griffith game 3 weeks ago was, but...
Well, I was there, but I've forgotten. That's how good my memory is.
So back to the centre again, Bernulis.
Don't you laugh, Baz.
Cook. Charging through is Ryan. He gathers. Gets a hand pass to Cook. He bludgeons one forward. Coming out to meet it is Myers and Sussay. Kicks this one, though, from Tigers forward. Punched clear by the Lions into the path of Sam Martin to Jackson Conley. Comes out of defence, and it's a pinpoint pass to Tom Anderson. Marks it centre half back. Can switch wide, finds Nate Hamlin. Can kick one long right in front of the Ganmain box to Jake Taylor, who takes the mark within metres of the boundary line. Comes inside looking for Jackson Conley. It's gone over his head. Cook drops one. Play on to the umpire. Jack Sussay sends this forward. Lucas Hattie flies high from behind into the path of Sid White. But he's gone out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in right in that forward pocket of the Lions.
Coolman Butchery supplies the meat to the raffles at the bowling club, and the anglers do on Friday night, and Baz won one again. I forgot to mention that early.
Every week.
He lives for another week on good quality meat.
The ball's thrown in there, and contest for the ball here. Underneath it is Jackson Conley, and the umpire's called for a ball up.
Some lambs made $410 in Victoria, Baz, and you don't have to buy meat, you just buy raffle tickets.
Ball thrown up. No ruckman get their hands on. Grabbed by Jack Powell out of the ruck and has a shot at goal and it's through.
Why not?
Brute strength.
He's had a really good four-quarter effort, Andrew. As has plenty of his Lions teammates. Lions 23-30, 23-13, 151. They've hit the ton and a half. Tigers 5-1-31. 24 minutes gone now. The Tigers would be almost buying the siren if they could.
Well, Matt Hanlon's had a strong game for the Lions, along with Tom Anderson, and then in the back half.
I just wouldn't know how many possessions those two have had between them.
Your Josh Walsh and Zach Burhop have been strong back there, and then in the forward line you've got blokes like Powell, Jack McKegg, Sid White, Tom Bernulis.
You couldn't go wrong if you got a vote card today. You could put them all in, Andrew.
Dan Foley's off the ground at the moment as Bernulis takes the ruck. Gathered by Bernulis, gets a hand pass forward to Matt Hamlin onto his cousin Nate. He's tripped as he charges forward. Mullins tries to juggle that one, gathered by McCullough, kicks this one high. Sitting under it is Jack Sussay. The ball's on the ground there, gathered by Joe Foley. Gets his hand pass forward, looking for Josh Walsh. He can't gather. Picked up by Ryan. Flying shot at goal by Davis, but it's falls short and marked by Seb Hamlin. There's another one I forgot that's had a good day back there as well. Tom Anderson gets it on the wing. Gets a hand pass into the front of Jack Sussay. Kicks one forward. It's a good mark by Jack McKegg. He's got Sid White at centre forward, but he goes long looking for Jake Taylor.
Oh, they're everywhere, the Lions.
And he finds him, the littlest man in the forward line.
Yep. They had three options there, the Lions, and they stood aside for the smallest man in the best position. Good play, Lions. Poor marking, poor opponent marking from the Tigers. You kick from 30. No mistake. Goal. Southern end of the ground to round out the game.
And that's Jake Taylor's second.
24-13, 157. The Tigers 5-1-31. 26 minutes gone now. Is there time for Tom Quinn to get amongst it, Andrew? He's down there.
Yes.
Can they do it for him? Can they get it to him?
Back to the centre of the ground. Bernulis and Cook in the ruck. Cook's tried hard all day. He has only had McPherson to change on limited occasions. The Kirkop's caught the ball there, and the ball will go to Jackson Conley. You get the free kick in the centre of the ground. Plays on quickly, kicks wide. Jumping for the ball is Matt Hamlin. Gorman's met strongly there. Gathered by Josh Walsh. He's wrapped up in a tackle, and the umpire called for a ball up. Bernulis and Cook. Bernulis taps that down. Picked up by Jackson Conley. Back to Brad Matters. He dodges round one. Sends this one forward, looking for Jack McKegg. Almost marks, but he's pushed his opponent, Shepherd, in the back. He'll have to come back behind him, Mark. Take his kick. Dying moments of this game.
Yeah, the shadows are across the ground now. We've got 3 weeks till the shortest day.
Comes across the field to Field. Sends it back to the far side. Under this is Cook. He's been shoved under the ball. Play on, says the umpire. Kirkop has this. Kicks one forward. It bounces off the chest of McPherson. Gathered by Seb Hamlin. He's caught the ball. No, he's pushed over the sideline. It'll be a throw in.
Run out of ground there.
Yep.
Throw in front of the Cobra Patrol that does all that club wear, sponsorship wear.
Ball's thrown in. Cook
There's
taps
the
it down.
siren. Tom Quinn's run out of time to get amongst the goal kickers here, Andrew, against the Tigers.
Yep.
Never mind, it was a thought that counted, that he'd be run up to the forward line.
126-point win to the Lions.
Well, that's a football lesson, really, Andrew. 24-13, 157. The Tigers 5-1-31. I'll leave it to you to talk about the Tigers best, Andrew.
Yeah, well, young Ryan was very good for the Tigers today, as well as young Matt Ryan, their vice-captain. Wadley done a power of work in defence with Cooper Pavitt. And yeah, well, they didn't have too many winners on the day. Lockie Field was not too bad, but it was all the Lions in the end, wasn't it? 157-31, and
no, I think they won. I think they won every position, Andrew, if that's possible.
Yeah.
Or up till three-quarter time at least. Matt Hamlin must have been cutting him up on the stats, and Tom Anderson, and you named about 6 or 8 players there that equal probably in number of possessions there a few minutes ago for the Lions. The writing was on the wall early, and right from the bounce, though, the Lions have just been relentless today, Andrew, right from the first bounce.
Yeah, it's a good 4-quarter effort from the Lions. It's, you know, something they strive to win every quarter, and they've done that today. And yeah, they didn't take the foot off the pedal, which was good to see. Like, a lot of times you can just cruise along and win.
Yeah, we're going into that bye, so they've got time to have a bit of a spell. They might get a bit of a hit out on the track this week and then have the weekend off, I guess.
Yes, we'll be back here in 2 weeks on a Saturday against Narrandera.
Yeah, I think once we come back after the break, I think we're 3 home games in a row, aren't we?
That's right. Narrandera, Coolaman and Collingully. 1 Saturday, 2 Sundays. So,
well, the Narrandera game may not be so difficult, but the other 2, it'll be on for young and old.
They'll be big games. Yep.
Gully undefeated, aren't they?
Yes, Gully undefeated, and Coolaman sitting second on the ladder.
Even Baz on Friday night was looking at the draw and thinking, oh, that Coolaman game, that'll be a big game. So even Baz is in the know now what happens.
He's keeping all above it.
Yeah, well, after we beat them in the season opener at Coolaman, Baz wore his footy shirt into the doctor's surgery the next morning, so he really rubbed it into him.
Yes.
I thought that was a good effort. We're going to have the presentation now of the Bluebell Cup. Well, we won't be able to get that audio from Ben, President Ben. So we're seeing there the Dan Foley and Josh Walsh receiving the Riverina, the Bluebell Cup there today. Josh Walsh is going to respond.
I'd like to welcome the Riverina Bluebell team today. John, Goodwin and Will, who are coming in. They're going to present the cup here shortly and bringing their message about mental health awareness to the Riverina. A great cause.
I'll talk over him because we can't hear him anyway, but once again, we round out this day. That'll about do us, Andrew, won't it, from the Ganmain Sports Ground?
Certainly will, Guy.
We'll enjoy the bye next weekend. Baz, you've got the weekend off. You've got the long weekend to yourself. And then we'll come back after that with 3 home games in a row. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Baz. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Andrew.
See you next time.